What is going on, everyone? My name is NWHunt97, and today we're going to talk about something that has to be spoken about. Okay? So this video is about a YouTuber called MundaneMatt. Now, first of all, I'd like to say the name MundaneMatt is not the best for our channel. I'm just saying that right now. Okay? Let's look at the definition of mundane. I have it right here. Give me a second. Definition of mundane. Okay? The definition of mundane is lacking interest or excitement and dull. Not exactly the best name for a YouTube channel. And I hate to be mean, but unfortunately, that's how MundaneMatt's channel is. It's not that exciting. It's not exactly the best type of entertainment. I don't really call itself entertainment, but what he does is he usually just has an approach where he talks about news, not only just everyday news, but just gaming news, YouTube news, internet news, Gamergate, Ghostbusters, Star Wars, all that stuff, right? And it just shows to me that if you name your channel MundaneMatt, then either one, you're completely ignorant to yourself, or two, you know everything about yourself. And that's what's sad about it. So, MundaneMatt has gotten in lots of trouble. Now, you see, there's a lot of things you could say about MundaneMatt. You could say that he is a Star Wars The Last Jedi, fanboy. And though me personally, I do not like The Last Jedi himself, you can have your own opinion towards liking a movie. The reason why I don't like it is simply because, one, it's just not well written at all. It's a movie where it's not exactly the most well-written thing. Two, there's little things like, I don't know, you guys probably know this, but I grew up learning about martial arts, weapons, guns, in my own free time and all that. And some of the choreography with Rey is just absolutely horrific. It's just bad, It just didn't show that the choreographers weren't taking themselves extremely serious with the lightsaber combat, right? And I absolutely love lightsaber combat, so that's one thing that I didn't like about that. And three, it was kind of a halfway point with trying to be risky, because they'll throw up a whole bunch of ideas. One, they would have Luke say that the Jedi must end, but they didn't really do that. They had the idea that Kylo Ren might be good, but they didn't do that. They had the idea of Rey becoming bad, and that'll be awesome, but they didn't do that, And plus, they didn't show Finn in a very good way, because, he's actually one of my most favorite characters. But anyway, yeah, it's just a bad thing. So, the thing about MundaneMatt is that he has the opinion where he absolutely loves The Last Jedi. He says it's his favorite movie, and he kind of goes against a group of people called the Jedi. It's not called the Jedi Council. It's the Fandom Menace Council, or I'm butchering it, guys. But anyway, he basically disagrees with all those guys, right? Like Geeks and Gamers, Comic Bro Secrets. I absolutely love that channel, by the way. Lots of cool things. Classic BSers. I'm not gonna say the actual name, but you're free to check it out. And basically, this group is known for just looking at all the mistakes of The Last Jedi, and not only the mistakes, but it also shows the really just how the directors and producers basically do not make these movies for the fans, and they pointed it out. So MundaneMatt completely disagrees with all these people. And I gotta say, the council is actually really smart and intelligent people. For crying out loud, Comic Pro Secrets is not only an awesome really big Star Wars fan, but he actually knows what he's doing. He's been like a comic book artist for like 25 years. Like, he's done work with like Jordan Peterson with his book, and he just has this like type of personality where he is an expert of what he does, and that includes knowledge with Star Wars. And you have MundaneMatt, who is not exactly known for having a high skill besides talking about news in a mundane way. Then it annoys people like Comic Pro Secrets in a way where, he just says, what's this kid, does he do anything that's worth watching? No, he really doesn't. And, I watched a couple of MundaneMatt's videos. I'm not like a fan or anything. But, I've seen a couple of his Ghostbuster stuff. I do know his history well, how he got popular and all that. That includes like Gamergate with, Zoe Quinn basically flagging him and having basically making his video YouTube channel like, bump up, or, basically get to the point where like it's from 0 to 100. It gets to the point where your channel starts to roll downhill, and then everything just starts doing things by itself. And that's how MundaneMatt got popular, through Gamergate with Zoe Quinn flagging one of his videos talking about her. And we're going to get back to that in a little bit. So anyway, I can tell this is going to be a humongous video, so, feel free to sit back and have some popcorn. Anyway, so MundaneMatt is a person who doesn't want any drama, but he gets all the drama in the world. He definitely has a community that absolutely despises his guts. This includes Demi Pesos. I personally love him a lot, especially with his Young Turks melting down video. It just shows what the Young Turks really are, and I absolutely hate the Young Turks. You know this, guys. If you watch my live streams, you know this. I make fun of the Young Turks all the time. Then you have like some of the other videos that he's made. For some reason he doesn't like Sargon of Akkad. I guess there's some things that I don't like about him, but he's a cool guy. There's a couple of things I disagree with him, but he is certainly intellectual, and he seems to be a good guy. So I don't know. You're free to make fun of people. So there's this thing with MundaneMatt where, how do I say this nicely? There's gonna be some things I'll say that's nice, and some things that's gonna be completely mean. Just warning you there. MundaneMatt is known for really 4 things. One, he has, like I said before, he has complete drama where he says he doesn't want drama, but he gets it all the time. And that includes, people that he goes against with all the drama. And who is the biggest drama expert than Keemstar? Now, Keemstar and MundaneMatt are just mortal enemies, right? So I would say like a few months ago, even a year ago, MundaneMatt and Keemstar had a very like crazy discussion with each other on Twitter. It's gotten pretty insane, right? And then MundaneMatt had this group on the side telling him to do something particular that they completely disagree with. I don't know. I didn't look this up much, but all I know, the only thing I know about this activity was the outcome of it. So MundaneMatt was swatted because this group told him to do something that they wanted him to do. It was like disavowing somebody, I don't know. And he got swatted, right? And after he got swatted, which, by the way, swatting is a terrible thing. Don't do it. And if you do it to me, like, I'll find you. I will kill you. Just kidding. I won't kill you, I'm just quoting something. Anyway. Hopefully people won't take that out of context. But he got swatted, and he basically said, like, he says it differently, but, he basically pointed out, like, hey, there might be a possibility that Keemstar might have swatted me, which is stupid, because Keemstar is just one of those guys who absolutely hates swatting. He actually covered a lot in his channel in the past that swatting is just an absolutely terrible thing. I remember there was this one time where someone got actually killed for swatting, right? And he actually found the guy who who called the cops on the person who got shot, and he did like he did interview with this guy, and it was actually pretty terrifying. But Keemstar is anti-swatting. He'll never do that to anybody. And so MundaneMatt said, hey, there might be a possibility Keemstar had done this. So the literal FBI came into Keemstar's house and like interrogated him basically. And ever since then, Keemstar like absolutely hates MundaneMatt. He basically thinks he's the devil. And there's certainly this thing where MundaneMatt seems to be like a very mild and meek individual, but honestly, there's some questionable things that makes him look like a bad guy. And really, the reason why I'm making this video is because we're talking about MundaneMatt with recent activities on really just flagging, right? Flagging videos specifically, right? So, so MundaneMatt has this reputation for flagging videos, right? And really, it got to the point where everyone knew that he was doing this, and which is actually really stupid because you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, right? So he's known for Gamergate and Zoe Quinn just flagging one of his videos, right? He's also talked about Ghostbusters a lot as well, right? He hates SJWs, right? And it gets to the point where if you hate something so much that you would assume that you would try to come away from it, right? However, it seems that MundaneMatt has actually become what he has hated. Let me explain. So, Zoe Quinn, someone who basically started off the Gamergate insanity, I must say, I am not an expert of Gamergate, but I know enough to basically have a big picture. Honestly, there's an excellent video made by a YouTube channel called PSA Stitch. It basically shows what Gamergate is. I'll put a link in the description box down below. In fact, there's probably going to be a lot of videos that I'm going to put a link. So, this happened where MundaneMatt was talking about Gamergate and Zoe Quinn flagged his video. Absolutely, say, hey, you're talking bad about me, so I'm going to flag your video, right? Bad thing to do. Right? Feminists are like trash. Anyway. So after this happened, this basically skyrocketed his channel, right? It basically made him to the point where at least some people recognize him. So you have this situation that pops up, and then suddenly you hear it. It's not like suddenly, it's more like within a year or two. Even when he started doing videos, he just had the reputation like, oh, he's basically Philip DeFranco 3.0. I'm not saying 2.0, but 3.0. Like, not exactly the best variety of, I personally do not like the type of channels like Philip DeFranco or Boogie. Even though they seem to be really nice guys, they just have this thing where they're in the middle of the road and they say, hey, someone died. Do you have an opinion why it's wrong? Nope. Okay, then. So I just don't like that type of, content, really, Though Philip DeFranco seems to be a nice guy. Like, I would definitely like to have dinner with him. And even Boogie. Like, even Boogie has some certain points that seem to make sense, Though I could tell that Boogie has definitely had a rough time in his life just by looking at him. He certainly is a nice guy, and he looks like he doesn't harm much people. That I know of. If he did, let me know in the comment section, okay? Keep an open mind, right? However, obviously there's some things I disagree with both Philip DeFranco and Boogie. I could tell that Philip DeFranco has more, libertarian / left-leaning point of views, but he doesn't want to say it. but even then he kind of does. So it's kind of weird. So with MundaneMatt, think of him like Philip DeFranco and Boogie mixed together. Only he doesn't have anything he is giving, at least entertainment / charismatic wise. Because Philip DeFranco, he's actually a little bit charismatic, and he likes to give give jokes. He likes to have some certain activities that he likes to give, like the idea of like a T-shirt that just says sports. That's actually funny because most people don't like sports, but they like the idea of it, so they give a T-shirt. That's funny. Boogie, he has this series with Francis. I absolutely love that, because it just shows the idea of a average gamer who's like, I don't know, South Park gamer who has like zits and just completely overweight and just, he just makes fun of that genre. That's hilarious. But with MundaneMatt, you just don't have this, side character. You don't have this point of view where, you don't have this very funny video from MundaneMatt. That's my dog barking. So, yeah. Susie, guys. She's awesome. Anyway, so with MundaneMatt, you don't have this video that's absolutely hilarious. You don't have this video that you absolutely love. You just feel that every single video is the same every time. If you click on his video, you assume that it's not going to have, anything completely outrageous / outside of his like little bubble. And he's just not the most entertaining guy. Like, sure, he talks about news that's interesting, but other than that, he's just, again, mundane. He's dull. And I'm not saying that just to be mean. I'm just saying that because it's true. And he says it, and I'm saying it because he says it's true. And I don't know. It's just... I thought my channel name was kind of weird, It's just NW197. It's just my initials and the year I was born, right? But with MundaneMatt, it's just a completely different level. I'm sorry. I just can't get over that. So, you have that point where, he's basically he's literally 0.2 percent of Philip DeFranco, Sure, he has the centrist, platform where he talks about news, but he does it in a much mundane / not interesting way, and really it's just not fun. YouTube is all about not only giving your content, but it's also having a certain activity where you do it with entertainment value. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an interesting, it's like the best of both worlds. You have someone that talks about something that's really important / true, and then you have something that you have extremely entertaining content. And if you mesh that thing together, then you have an awesome channel. Look at PewDiePie. He does this very, very well. So you have that with MundaneMatt. Okay, that's the first thing about him. He's basically he's trying to be someone like Philip DeFranco, only he's not doing that well because he's not entertaining. He really isn't, guys. Like, he's not the most entertaining guy at all. Like, he really isn't. So number 2 is he reminds me of someone who, I don't know. Okay, let's start with this, okay? You know how he likes The Last Jedi, right? And he seems to be someone that is bullied a lot in his childhood, right? And there's 2 possibilities of starting your life if you were bullied, right? 1, you either get over with it, stand up to the bully and say, hey, stop doing that, or there will be consequences. And then you stood up to him, then you go up to your life, you go on with your life, and you become a better person. You're more developed in your activities, You move forward. But then there's the people who get bullied and they just absolutely have no idea what to do. Like, someone didn't stand up for them. So therefore they're saying, if no one's standing up for me, I can't stand up for myself. So I'm just going to stay here, take it, and just go on in my life. And unfortunately, that could be quite disastrous. I just see, one of my most favorite movies is The American Sniper. And one of the scenes is you have, you know, Chris Kyle's father telling him, hey, there's three types of people. Okay, there are sheep, there are wolves, and there's the shepherd dog, right? Now, I see MundaneMatt as a sheep, right? Innocent, at least for now. Someone who could be easily damaged or even killed, right? And obviously, this is a metaphor. And then, since we live in the internet, there's lots of wolves out there, and wolves love to attack, and they love to attack the sheep because the wolves like to get an easy meal, and they're the easiest targets. And then you have the shepherd dogs. Now, the shepherd dogs are people who protect the sheep, and within that area, you have this system where the wolf is the antagonist trying to destroy the sheep. Then you have the sheepdog who is out to destroy the wolf so that the sheep are safe. So MundaneMatt is a sheep. The internet is full of wolves. Therefore, he's basically at a disadvantage altogether. And it's actually pretty easy to see MundaneMatt as a sheep. It's really, really easy. Just look at his channel. MundaneMatt. He's dull. He's not interesting. He's not exciting. So he must be a high possibility that he's a sheep, right? I would assume that everyone would assume that, right? Now, I could see someone like the Quartering, Jeremy, right? He is a guard dog, right? He protects himself and other people. I mean, for crying out loud, he had exposed pedophiles, for crying out loud. He is a guard dog. I know he's a guard dog. Even though he's known as a gentle giant, he definitely has a bite, and he knows how to use it, He is a person who wants to do good, and that's why I like him so much. The Quartering, Unsleeved Media, he's a cool guy. I would love to have a conversation with him one day. So, that's the thing about MundaneMatt. He's a sheep. I am not sure that he knows it, and it gets to the point where he is, I don't know, it's kind of like part of him knows that he is a sheep, and there's a part of him that refuses to say that he is a sheep, right? And just by doing that, you could have really disastrous results. Okay, so the third thing about MundaneMatt is, I'm being completely honest, really, okay? MundaneMatt doesn't have the capability of taking in extreme responsibilities. Let me explain. There's this story, well, not a story, but there's this video of him recording himself saying that, his girlfriend is about to have a baby, right? And that's his child. And apparently the baby is about to come in early, and he thought it was going to be extremely crazy, saying he's got to be ready or not, right? And there's this one thing that drove me crazy with him, okay? He said that it was around December that his child was going to be born. And, since it's December, that's when Star Wars comes out, The Last Jedi. And he actually said he was worried that the child will be born when The Last Jedi comes out. As soon as I heard that, I was so freaking angry. As soon as he said that, my perspective of MundaneMatt just changed automatically, right? And that's when really I stopped watching him. Like, there was a couple of things I watched, like Ghostbusters, Gamergate and all that, but it wasn't until that moment I stopped watching him, right? Because once I saw that, I realized, okay, this guy doesn't seem to know what his place in life is. He doesn't seem that he is ready to be a father right then and there, right? If you had a situation where your child's about to be born, your very first child, I would assume that you would say, screw Star Wars, I'm gonna see my baby, right? And if he has that mindset of somebody who's worried that Star Wars might come out, right? at the same time his child is born, then it's not going to be then you're not going to have a father who's exactly the best at his job. Really good example of this. This is the exact opposite of MundaneMatt, okay? My dad obviously is a father, right? I talk about my dad a lot. So, while my mom was pregnant with my second brother, the one next to me, Tarzan just came out. And literally, they were at the movie. It was either at the movie theater. They had their tickets. They wanted to see the movie. Tarzan's an amazing movie. He wanted to watch it. But suddenly, my mom had labor. So he said, screw Tarzan. Even though I'll watch the movie, I'll watch it later. But I'm going to see my child being born, okay? This is way too important. You see what I mean? You see the complete difference, right? MundaneMatt worries that The Last Jedi and his child's due date is going to be really close. And guess what? It didn't even happen. Apparently, it was like 3 or 4 days. It was like a week or two before the due date. And he was just worried about that, Versus the release date of Tarzan and my brother's, being born at the exact same time. And my dad says, screw Tarzan. I'm going to go ahead and go to have my child being born. So you see the difference, right? I don't know. I just see that as completely disgusting, right? I see that as a complete difference of what kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be a father that actually wants to care about their child more than Tarzan, or a father that cares more about The Last Jedi is release date than the due date of your own child? That's when I saw, okay, this guy, he's a loser. I'm sorry. He is a loser for thinking stuff like that. This is a human being coming into the world, and you say, oh, I want to watch Star Wars. Screw you, MundaneMatt. Your child deserves better than that. Your child really does. I'm sorry. That is unacceptable. So, yeah, that just drives me crazy. It's just, again, I have a dad who says screw Tarzan, and he raised me up in a way where life is more important than a movie. And movies are cool. They really are. It represents, some movies are amazing because they just show the best representation of life and how to conquer it. Have dominion over your life. So then you have MundaneMatt, who doesn't have dominion over his life. He has a girlfriend. He's not married to her. His child's about to be born, and he wants to worry about Star Wars. I mean, it's The Last Jedi, for crying out loud. It's not the best movie. I'm sorry. So, yeah, that just drove me crazy. So the fourth thing about MundaneMatt is that, this is the same guy who has his child and the release date of Star Wars being clashing with each other, and he was worried which one he had to go to, okay? And just by seeing his reaction towards that, I feel that he would choose Star Wars. I'm sorry, I think he really would. So, obviously, there's a lot of things that MundaneMatt is attacked for, and obviously the biggest thing, and the reason why we're talking about in our video right now, is because of the recent activities going on with MundaneMatt. Dang, my earpiece is falling out. So, fourth thing. It seems that MundaneMatt is way too focused on his YouTube channel. You know what I mean? I mean, sure, it's fun making videos. It's a hobby, right? And if you're making a good life out of it, hey, that's pretty awesome. You're doing what you love. However, MundaneMatt seems to want to take advantage of his channel, and he cares nothing but his channel. And really not his channel, but also some of his Twitter as well. So, MundaneMatt had this really weird tweet where you had this. Yeah, this was after the This was after the YouTube shooting, right? Where someone just comes in with a gun, starts shooting somebody, and you had this joke where, and you have people who hate MundaneMatt, right? You just have them out there, and and some trolls were saying that MundaneMatt did it, and no one was hurt because the aim was terrible, and this is actually really bad right here. But the shooter also attempted suicide, but they failed, so no casualties. And they're basically making fun of how MundaneMatt is, kind of a weak-minded person, and also just is very unstable as a person, just as a person himself. And they made fun of that, and that was the point where now you assume that MundaneMatt say, hey, that's screwed up. Don't say that, okay? And I'll probably say the same thing myself. However, MundaneMatt said, hey, Twitter, can you, I don't know, maybe have me get verified on Twitter because these guys say that I shot up, the YouTube studio, Thanks. Obviously, I'm over-exaggerating, but I would assume you would defend yourself, say, okay, obviously that's not true. Screw you guys. I'm not gonna listen to this crap, right? But instead, he took advantage of literal people dying from the YouTube shooting and say, hey, can I get verified? He's obsessed with getting verified on Twitter. I do not know why, I don't care if you have 1 million followers or 10,000 followers. If you have 1 million followers and not verified, who cares? You have 1 million followers. You're known. You're known on Twitter. It doesn't matter. Being verified just means that your Twitter is known for saying, hey, this is the real NW Hot 97. Hey, this is the real PewDiePie, right? That's all what it means. It doesn't matter. I would assume if you were to have 3 NW Hunt 97s, and if I had 1 million followers on Twitter, you assume that my 1 million followers Twitter is right there, and it's me. And so I don't know, you just don't need a verification check, But for some reason he's obsessed with that. I guess it's because that there's a lot of people who copy MundaneMatt, and he wants to be verified because there's a lot of trolls out there, and that's why he wants to do it. But come on, man, you're taking advantage of people dying at the YouTube studio. Just come on. There's a lot of things that you could do to make me not like you. That's one of them. That and having care more about The Last Jedi than your own child's birth, right? So not only you have the Twitter, insanity, you also have I'm sorry, but I just have this thing where if I see something completely ridiculous or stupid, I have to say, okay, that's dumb. Some people are afraid to say that something is dumb or something is stupid, okay? What MundaneMatt did on this particular situation is stupid. In fact, I'm going to link this in the description. Lots of things we got to link, okay? I promise. Long video, guys. We're just getting started. So MundaneMatt he has 100,000 subscribers on his channel, right? So once this happened, he recorded himself reading the letter that he gets, and I must say, getting 100,000 subscribers is amazing, and it just shows you all the hard work. And once you get that silver plaque, that is really cool. I mean, hopefully one day this channel will get 100,000 subscribers, and we'll do something extremely special for that. Okay, I promise you guys, something extremely special. But when he got it, he started crying. He started crying. He really started crying. Tears of joy, or I don't know what it was. It was just crying, right? So when I saw that, I was like, man, this guy takes his channel way too seriously, right? So sure, sure, it just shows how much sacrifice you give, and it just shows how much activities you do. But if you cry, here's the thing. This is what goes through my mind, okay? Not only you cry for getting the silver plaque, but also you actually uploaded it on your YouTube channel. I'm sorry, but I will be way too embarrassed to have myself cry while I'm recording and actually retake it. So I'm like, okay, let me do this correctly. But no, he actually did it where he where he keeps it. And I don't know, there's like this thing with him where there's something that's abnormal of him, so he has to take advantage of it. So I don't know, it just makes me, just by saying all these things of him, it makes me have a more less of a respect for him, you know, not only the Last Jedi thing with his child, but also with the YouTube thing, and just crying while he gets the 100,000 subscriber plaque. I'll tell you this, guys, if I ever get something like that, I wouldn't cry, just saying. So I don't know, like I said before, he's a sheep. The more I see him, he is more of a sheep. Okay, I'm not saying that as a bad way. It's just how personalities work. Okay, so he takes his channel way too seriously, and he seems to be uncomfortable with people talking about him, right? And this is the meat and potatoes of the video. Okay, so he's a sheep. Lots of wolves out there. And there's a couple of guard dogs say, okay, this guy's a sheep, but he doesn't want to admit he's a sheep. So you have this thing where eventually MundaneMatt becomes somebody that he doesn't want to be. And eventually that will be his ultimate downfall. And it's really sad to watch because it's just bad, right? It's bad for MundaneMatt altogether, right? So MundaneMatt is a person who always reminds you, hey, make sure you don't have your ad block and support me on Patreon. Every single video, every single time. It's actually you actually get sick of it sometimes, you know? Like, sure, you know, you have like you have like channels say, hey, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Like me, I say that all the time. But, you know, I probably won't say it right now, but, you know, it's too important. So, he's a person who says, don't have ad block, follow me on Patreon, you know, support me and all that, and help me make a living, right? You know, if you care about somebody who wants to make a living, you could do that, right? But he does something so opposite and really just evil, really, just being completely honest. What he did here was evil. He did. What he did was have a flagging campaign, a false flag campaign. Basically, everyone who criticizes him, aka Demi Pesos, who would basically have his own, you know, channel, who basically copies all of the stories of MundaneMatt, and he basically does it so where he makes fun of him. And he makes fun of him so much. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's just, it's so bad sometimes, right? It's really bad. But MundaneMatt flagged a whole bunch of people that made fun of him, including Demi Pesos. That's the biggest guy, you know. But, however, it was basically a point where, you know, Demi Pesos made fun of him. Then MundaneMatt false flagged him, and you know, not only on YouTube but on Twitter's, right? And then Demi Pesos said, "Oh, if you false flagged my stuff, guess what? I'm gonna make fun of you even more." And then he just makes fun of him like 100%. He just like brings out a barrage of like bazookas of making fun of MundaneMatt. And the more he sees that, the more MundaneMatt false flags him. And I gotta say, MundaneMatt started this. He started the flag. I don't care what he says. He started it, right? I am taking Demi Pesos' side here. Okay. Not only that, he also had false flags or a whole bunch of other channels like Cognitive Thought. I'm sorry. He is basically an archive channel who he does like a whole bunch of stuff like archives the kill stream. He does some stuff with like what's his name, Keemstar and all that, etc. He's just an archive channel. But MundaneMatt flagged him too, and Andy Worski. Now Andy Worski is a guy who's he loves controversy and loves drama. So I don't know why he would do that, because it's basically giving Worski what he wants. So he likes to talk about it. And obviously, there's also this one video of I'm sorry, but it's inappropriate. But I'm sorry. It just brings out the dirt of your eyes. This video, like, it makes fun of MundaneMatt so much, but there's lots of truth in it, right? So the video is called MundaneMatt is a Crying Bee. Is a Crying Susie, okay? If you know what that means, then yes. Again, link in the description box down below. You've been warned. If you guys don't like cursing, don't watch it, okay? Giving that warning. But it's your choice. So anyway, it's this 19-year-old girl watching some, clips of MundaneMatt talking about 100,000 subscriber crying, and you also have this thing with obviously his child. She watches that clip as well, and basically she says that I think it was his brother that has the channel, but she's talking, and the brother says to her, would you have him as your husband? And she would say no. And I'm sorry, this seems to be a little bit more of a brutal point of view, but you want to be somebody that you want to have a personality where you protect women and children, really just everybody. You want to protect people. That's what, I don't care who you are and what's your opinion on men, that's their job. And if men don't do that as their job, they're just terrible people. If men don't protect people, then they're just terrible people, right? But everyone knows this in their hearts, where if men don't protect people and instead harm people or just don't do anything to protect people, then they're not men. Period. Okay? That's why the nuclear family is just this is my personal opinion, obviously, but me thinking that the nuclear family works, it's just how culture, just overall through history, it just is a good system. You have the man who's the provider and protector of the family, and honestly, A Quiet Place does an excellent job showing this. You have the father and the man protecting his family. You have the wife who is the provider and the master of the household, and then you have the children who grows up and becomes just like their parents, right? With MundaneMatt, I don't see that. I don't see him as a protector. I just see him as a sheep. That's all I see him as. Now, sure, there are people who have sheepish tendencies, but they overcome themselves and become a protector. They become a provider. They become a caretaker, right? But with MundaneMatt, I just see him as somebody who's a sheep, who just all he cares about is his YouTube channel and his Twitter, right? That's all I see him as. And honestly, I don't think he's a good father. I really don't see them. I see it that way, right? Again, this is a video that I just see. I don't know. When I look at somebody, I see their personality, their inwardness, and how they how they look within themselves, right? So you have this thing, right? He flags everybody, and one of the people that it basically got to the point where he flagged so much that people say, hey, every time I make a MundaneMatt video, I make fun of them, it's flagged. So I assume it's MundaneMatt. And when that happens, he gets the reputation of, oh, he flags the videos. But then MundaneMatt says, no, I don't do that. And he did say that. He said he didn't flag anyone's video. That's what gets me right there. He says he didn't do it, but apparently he did. And later on, I'm going to show you some proof, okay? So eventually, there was the kill stream. This is a live stream with a lot of people. You have lots of guest stars. You have lots of people go in and do the the stream. It's like 4 hours, right? Oh, there we go. There's my Final Fantasy 7 thing. In fact, actually, today's Monday, so after I'm recording this, I'll do a live stream. How's that sound? Anyway, so the kill stream starts, and they were gonna show a video of MundaneMatt doing a very controversial post, include using the N-word with a polar bear. And I gotta say, it's not like that was the only time I saw MundaneMatt as doing something completely different and entertaining. But it was in such a horrible context that it was just not worth watching, honestly. Just don't watch it, But I must admit, that was the most entertaining I've seen him. And that's him doing something pretty bad. Like, I personally won't do it at all, right? It's just not good. So, the kill stream was basically going to look at the video. And they invited MundaneMatt for the post, right? I think it was on Tumblr. So MundaneMatt refused, and was like, okay, we'll just try to analyze what's up with him and the rumors that's been going on with him apparently flagging videos that makes fun of him. What happened was in the middle of the post playing, you suddenly the live stream stops, and it's been flagged. And apparently, if you have your channel that's flagged, dang, lots of activity on my phone. I should silence it. Actually, I'll do that right now. This is a professional channel, guys. Of course it isn't. But anyway, so it got flagged. So if it's flagged, you can't live stream, on your channel, right? So this happened, and they started a live stream somewhere else, right? And if you were to connect the reputation of MundaneMatt false flagging videos that makes fun of them, and then they were having a live stream, deciphering a video that he made, and they're gonna make fun of him. So basically, he stopped their tracks about to make fun of him. So they basically made the connections like, okay, MundaneMatt did it. He did it. And then what's shocking is he actually comes into the stream because, it shows he has a notification of, apparently a lot of Twitter people saying, oh my gosh, MundaneMatt, did you false flag the video or something like that, right? So, according to his story, he was doing some activities with his child and his girlfriend and all that. And so what happened was that after he got to the point where he was basically about to get on the computer, his phone was ringing about all this thing about the kill stream, false flagged MundaneMatt. So he popped in, he joined the live stream, and he was saying, okay, I didn't do it, guys, I really didn't. So then I can't remember who it was. A lot of people was there, including Jeremy from the Quartering. So I'm not sure who it was. I think it was Keemstar who suggested, hey, you are known for false flagging anybody. You just haven't confirmed it. Everyone basically thinks you do this all the time, right? And he suggested, hey, why won't you screen share your false flag report? There's like a screen that you could look at, as like seeing how many people you gave a flag to, And if you're a channel that's been around for a long time, you probably flagged some people. If you watch like a random video and it's like explicitly, like sexual content or something like that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna flag this video for sexual content, stuff like that. If you've done that before, then you're gonna see it on this page, right? So it doesn't take that long. So what Jeremy did was that he showed the page. It took him like 20 seconds, maybe 10, and I only showed like one flag, and it was a video that said, hey, you should flag Jeremy for doing all this crap, right? So that's the only time he flagged anybody, right? So everyone was saying, hey, Matt, just go ahead and screen share this so we could see that if you did it, you did it, and if you didn't do it, you didn't do it, right? And then MundaneMatt said, sure. And then they said, okay, go ahead and do it. And say, okay, give me a second. And then 1 second passed by, 2 seconds, 10 seconds, 20, a minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It was like ridiculously long. It should have been that long. And people were just yelling, and I was like, yo, just do the freaking like screen share already. You are a freaking liar. You are a false flagging, son of a biscuit, man. Like, come on, do it right now. So then he shows the screen, how much people he flagged. And everybody was there. Demi Peso, Swarovski, Cognitive Thought, Failure, everybody, man. Everybody who made fun of him, he was made fun of, right? Every person that made fun of him, he flagged him. Period. And at this point, he lost. He just lost. Okay, whatever he was doing, he lost. He just lost his reputation. He lost his trust towards the people who are quote unquote friends with him. He lost, his reputation. He lost his, really just his, it was just bad for him, Yeah, it basically proved that he was a liar, because really for like 2 hours he was saying that he didn't flag anybody, but he did. Then, they say, so did you flag the live stream that we were doing before? And then he said, no, but you can't trust him at all because he's a liar. And 2, it literally took him like an hour to do this. So what was he doing that hour? Was he going on his laptop or computer, like deleting some of the false flags, including the false flag with his live stream? Did he do the false flag? Did he delete it? And did he show it so he won't get extra in trouble, right? Which he already is. Me personally, I think he did that. Okay, I think he false flagged the live stream that they were doing. The next live stream that they did, he came in, he deleted his false flag, report, and it just showed that. And he didn't want to get screwed even more. He really didn't. And that basically at this point, this proved that he was a liar. He was someone not to be trusted with. I'm pretty sure he just gave a flag to the live stream, even though he said he didn't. He's just a liar. He's untrustworthy. He probably didn't show the entire truth. Wow. You see? My dog's mad because what MundaneMatt did. And also, he became someone that he didn't want to be. He is now the monster that Zoe Quinn is now. And I think when you become your enemy, you ultimately lost. You become the monster that you hate, right? Zoe Quinn was known for false flagging people that disagreed with her, right? And MundaneMatt was one of those people. And I would assume that he hated that for her doing that. But now, he's doing the exact same thing. And not only he has become Zoe Quinn, but also, I believe he just became a social justice warrior. Okay? He is a Zoe Quinn social justice warrior. Okay? So, after all of this happened, everyone just says, you lied straight up in our face. How can we trust you? And he just said, you can't. It's that simple. And, I don't know. Like, he said he apologizes to everyone that he did a false flag on. And he didn't apologize to everybody he false flagged, right? Including Demi Pesos. Like, he still needs an apology towards Demi Pesos. Okay? That's the big one right there. He still hasn't apologized as of this video being recorded right now. And he hasn't apologized to some of the other people, right? So, yeah, he has become the SJW false flagger, okay? Who have people make fun of him. And because of this, he have given fuel to all of his haters and all to the wolves out there to make fun of him for a good reason. And that's what makes it really bad for him. He is going to go through, like, fire and brimstone through the internet, and it's not going to be good. So, yeah, it's just bad. It's really bad. You have this thing where you want to become someone you don't want to be. But if you did become the monster, then you should say to yourself, what happened? How did I become this person? How did I mess up so much that I've become the monster that I hated? And that's when you have to say to yourself, you need a break. You need to stop what you're doing. Apologize to everybody that you have false flagged. And here's the thing. I'm throwing false flag around, right? And the thing about false flagging is, if you flag a video, you not only get rid of the monetization of the video, you also get rid of the live streams. And a lot of channels focus on live streams, and that's their main income. MundaneMatt had made people lose money for him doing this. All sorts of people. And he said that you should get rid of your ad block and support him on Patreon. I'm sorry. That is evil. MundaneMatt did an evil thing. He became the monster what he hated. Okay? And he is a completely imbalanced individual. And what's stupid is, he said that he went to a down low. His life went to a bad time low, right? He said he contemplated suicide. He said that he had all these issues with people making fun of him. Listen, Matt, I don't care if you contemplated suicide. I'm sorry, I sound heartless doing that. You have done all these things to these people. Don't become the victim. You've made victims through your false flag campaign. Okay? And I find it stupid that you say that you are contemplating suicide. Screw you, Matt. I had people commit suicide in my life, and it's absolutely terrible. Okay? It literally happens all of a sudden. It looks like to you say that it's a process. Yes, it's a process for the individual. But for the rest of their family, it's all of a sudden, okay? I have an excellent friend that committed suicide, and you are making fun of that fact that you say, oh, I'm doing this because I'm contemplating suicide. No. At least my friend didn't false flag everybody that made fun of him, and that he didn't have a point of time where he was completely dishonored for doing a controversy like this, man. I'm sorry, Matt. Screw you. I am... Ugh. Okay. So, here's the thing. Okay? Lots of things with Matt. Okay? This is what I think of him. One, he is a troubled individual. He's evil. And I'm not saying that as individually, okay? All of us have an evil monster within us. It's just he has unleashed his evil monster, okay? So, he makes excuses. He claims to be the victim, even though he has made victims all around him, okay? He's not the victim. He is the man who committed crimes, right? He is the man who made victims, okay? I don't care about the past, okay? The past has already ended. What's happening is now, okay? What MundaneMatt did was he flagged people, he made victims, and he said he was the victim. No. You, sir, are a hypocrite, okay? And I tell you this, get the heck away from your victimhood, okay? Get away from it. Don't be a victim. Don't make other people victims. And get yourself to the point where you need to fix yourself, okay? Apologize to everybody, even Demi Pesos, about false flagging everybody. Apologize to everybody that you made victims of, okay? Then, what I want you to do, okay, listen, this is going to give you, I'm trying to help you, Matt, okay? This is going to be hard, okay? 1, fix yourself, okay? Don't be a butthole. 2, put a ring on your girlfriend right now. Put a ring in it. Show responsibility that you are willing to spend with your life for the rest of... You're willing to spend the rest of your life with her. 3, be a father. Be the father that your child needs, okay? Don't put Star Wars, The Last Jedi, in front of your child. Don't do that, okay? And 4, look within yourself, realize that you're screwed up, and try to fix it, okay? Now, I admit, I've done some terrible things in my life. I've done some screwed up stuff. But I realized it was wrong. I fixed it, and now I'm a better person because of it, okay? I don't see that with you right now, Matt. I need to see you right now redeeming yourself, okay? Just study yourself. Look within yourself, okay? It literally takes years to see who you are, okay? And if you don't do that, you need to do it right now. You need to make yourself a better person. You need to make yourself a better father, a better husband, a better neighbor, a better protector, okay? Matt, I don't want to see you as a sheep. I want to see you as a guard dog, okay? I want to see you as a person who protects people, who protects their lives, who protects their reputation, okay? Don't make victims. Help victims rise up to their challenge and make them so that they are the protectors, okay? So, Matt, what you need to do is apologize to everybody you flagged. Apologize to everybody. I don't care who it is. Keemstar, like me, Quartering. I don't even like some dude from China they never heard about you. Apologize to him. Take a break. Analyze yourself. Read the Bible, okay? Just do it. And just look within yourself. Like me personally, I recommend you read Jordan Peterson. Like, contact Jordan Peterson, okay? Contact him. Have Jordan Peterson analyze you. And just go ahead and just make yourself a better person, okay? You can still come away from this entire fiasco, okay? It's whether if it's your choice or not to do it, okay? It's your choice. If you don't come away from the fact that if you don't admit your mistakes and you don't admit you're an evil person, then you're lost. You're lost forever. I'm sorry. So, yeah, this is an hour-long video, and it's long, and I'm going to have all of this in the video, okay? So, yeah, some suggestions. There's certainly some more information that needs to be released with MundaneMatt, and I don't know, PSA Stitch, go ahead, if you're watching this, go ahead and investigate MundaneMatt, see what he did, and bring forth everything he's done. And Matt, make yourself a better person. Don't be a victim. Don't make other people victims. And just grow up, really. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's my opinion. And what are your thoughts, okay? Let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, or if you've gotten anything out of the video. And, you know, just let me know if it helped you out at all. Thank you guys. God bless. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.